Hey everybody, real quick before I start the video, I wanted to give a fair warning that the mic quality is not as good as this first recording throughout the most of the video, because I didn't know that you could literally put a blanket over your head and talk into it, and your microphone would sound a million times better. But it kind of makes sense, because my room that I record videos in is pretty bad for mic, so yeah, just prepare for it. It might not sound great, but I have improved it with this recording, so hopefully it sounds better. Alright, on to the video. Hello everyone, I'm back after a long time being away. I'm sorry this video is probably going to take me forever to edit and stuff, but I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list of all of the Block Mayhem blocks. Also, just before we start this is my opinion, obviously, so if you want to tell me your opinion down in the comments below, like if you disagree with something that I thought belonged in a certain tier, feel free to leave a comment, and let's just get started with it. Alright, so common. Let's see. Common is a pretty average block. It works for a common. Common's going in B tier. It works for what it is. Uncommon, it's green. It's bigger than common. It works for what it is again. So it's going in B tier. Rare. Rare is, well, it's rare. Again, it works for what it is, so it's B tier. Epic. A little above and beyond with particle effects. So I don't think it belongs in A, because it's not like an amazing block or anything, but it is pretty okay, so I'll go B tier. But it is going in front of all the other ones, because, well, it's got effects. Alright, next up we've got Shade. Shade is a new block. I haven't really gotten to know it that well, but it is a black block, which you don't see a lot of. So I'm gonna put it in B tier, but it's gonna go in front of all the other ones. Bit. Bit is, well, it definitely looks like Bit. I don't know what to say. Bit will go in B tier. It'll go right in front of Epic. This is Icy, right? Yeah. Icy. Forgot the name for a second because I don't pay attention to the 1 in 1K blocks. But anyway, it doesn't, I don't know. This is going to be really long for the first few blocks because the blocks before 1 in 10K just aren't really that special. B tier is going to be absolutely full. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Magma. I do think Magma looks cooler than Icy, but it doesn't look as cool as Bit, so it's going right there. Dusk. Yeah, Dusk. Got that one for a second. Dusk is pretty cool. It's cooler than Icy, so it'll go in front of Icy. Why not? All right. Shines. Shines are, well, I'm currently having a really hard time getting shines, so they're going in the back because, well, I'm biased. Okay. This is pure. Pure. You need a lot of them for Euphoria Enchanter. I'll put them in front of Icy because they look all right, you know. All right, Aqua. Aqua can go. Does it look cooler than? It does look cooler than Pure. It goes in front of Dusk. Dusk doesn't look near. It doesn't look as cool, I think. Life. Finally, the last 1 in 1K. Life is. It's basic, okay? I don't really have much to say for these first few blocks. It'll go right there. Just because I don't have to get any for you for it. Wait, no, I do. Whatever. I've gotten them all, so. Legendary. Legendary does look pretty legendary. It is rarer than 1 in 1K blocks, but I do think that some of them look cooler. So it'll go right here. Legendary is pretty cool. Mythical, 1 in 3K, it's like the same as Legendary. I don't have much else to say. It can go right there. It's just red, because it's mythical. Godly, again, pretty much the same. But it is used for a lot, so I'll put it in front of the 3 of them. Or the 2 of them. Yeah. Diamond, I didn't know until a recent update, but Diamond is actually a 1 in 5,500. I don't know why they assigned this rarity and didn't just say it's a Diamond event, but for the confusion, Diamond is going in the back of B tier. It confused me when I was making this tier list. I'll get to that later on. Phantom. Phantom is the first one in 10k. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that cool for a 1 in 10k, so I'll put it in C tier. But it's alright. It's a white block, which you don't see a lot of again. Frost. Frost is... it's a good 1 in 10k block. It can go in front of all the 1 in 1ks, because it looks good. I like Frost. Binary. This is probably my favorite 1 in 10k. It'll go the front of B tier. I don't think it's quite A tier material. Runic. Runic sucks. I'm sorry. I just... this thing, it looks bad. And I'm also very biased to this one because back in the day, when you went to disable block sounds that were less than 100k, this one wouldn't turn off the sound, so you just hear a bunch of Runic songs in the back, and my god, this song is annoying. But I don't think it needs a redesign. It looks fine, but it is going in F tier because I hate that stupid thing. This one, this one is, crap, I forgot the name of the golden blocks. This one looks pretty cool, yeah. It can go right there. It's like a golden frost. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I feel really dumb. Anyway, Ascendant. Ascendant is in 12.5k. It's a weird rarity. It is like it's yellow godly. It's not that creative, you know. So because of that, I'm putting it in front of the 1ks. It's not gonna get any higher than that. Exotic Diamond, yeah. This is 1 in 15,000 apparently, even though it only spawns in an Exotic Diamond event. So, oh yeah, this one, look at this one compared to Diamond. You cannot tell me that those do not look like the same block. Like, Exotic Diamond is a bit dimmer, maybe. But other than that, it just does not look very good. It doesn't, it looks the same. So, it's gonna go right next to Diamond, because they're basically the same block. Actually, no, you're going in C tier, just because you gave me confusion. Anyway, Stellar. Stellar is pretty cool. It works for what it is, so it gets B tier. Right there. Right there. Dread. Dread is pretty darn good for a 1 in 25k. I like the song, I like the look of the block, so it's going in front of B tier. Oh my gosh, B tier is so full already. Crystallize. Crystallize is, it's crystallized, you know? It's 1 in 25k. I don't know. These first few blocks are just gonna be really boring. I guess I'll put it, like, in front of Frost. No. It goes behind Frost. It's not quite as cool as Frost. Pyro. Pyro is... I was alright, you know? It's alright, man. It goes in front of Crystallize, just because it's a little cooler. I think it looks a little better. Solitude. I think it goes right behind Dread. It looks really good for a 1 in 25k. I think it's kind of like the standard for what all 1 in 25ks should strive to be. Iridescence. I actually remember the name of this one. Iridescence is... it's alright, you know? It works. Right here. Right here's alright. Behind Solitude. Digital. Digital is scary. It sounds like a bunch of whispers, and then the song kicks in. Yeah, I was AFKing one time, and then I heard whispers in my headphone, and I was like, what is that? So, for making me terrified, you're going back of C tier. But the design is alright. You know, it's alright. Aqua Vortex. Aqua Vortex is pretty basic 1 in 25k, so I'll put it right in front of Digital. But it's not amazing. Eternal. Eternal looks... it's another block that's just kind of, you know, it's a 1 in 25k. Nebula. Nebula, 1 in 30k. Let's see here. Nebula... I like space theme stuff. Nebula is pretty good for a space-themed block, so I'll put it right in front of Phantom, but behind Exotic Diamond. Alright, Serene. Serene... oh, this is another one that had the Runic problem, where it just wouldn't shut up. So, because of that, I'm gonna put it in D tier. It looks alright. It's fine for what it is. But, you know. Syntax. Again, it suffers from the same problem that Runic had. And to be fair, Binary and Digital did too. But this one was like the most egregious because it was so loud. So I think I'll put it back as C tier. It wasn't terrible to listen to. I like the song. Song's pretty jammy. Polar works for what it is. It will go right. It'll go right there. It works. No, it's cooler than the 1-in-1Ks. It can go right in front of Crystallize. Crystallize is less cool. Blaze. I have a very specific memory of Blaze from when I first started playing Block Mayhem. It was a block that I needed for a quest, back when there were no luck boosters, and I only had one account, so I was forced to grind for this one, and my god did it take way too long for a 1-in-50K. So, it'll go in front of Syntax and Digital, but it's not better by much. Paragon, honestly, this block really doesn't mean anything to me. It kind of just exists. But Paragon it's a nice block, you know? So, I don't think it gets enough attention, especially from me. So, it'll go right behind Binary. It's pretty good. Immortal? Yeah, Immortal. This block, it's a white block, which you don't see a lot of. It's pretty creative. Honestly, I do like it quite a bit, but it's not as good as some of the newer, under 100K, so I'll put it right here in B tier. Aether looks the same as, what is this one called? Elysian! That's what its name is! That's right! It looks like it's the same block as Elysian, it just has like two spinny things, so it goes right in front of Elysian. God, these blocks. Man, some of them just feel like direct copies of one another. Even in game, it doesn't look very much. Even in game, it doesn't look that different. So, you know. All right. Eternal. No. Ethereal. I'm stupid. Ethereal. It's a 1-in-50K, and I'll put it right in front of Blaze because I never had a hard quest with it. Actually, no. It goes in front of Eternal. Yeah, it'll go in front of Aqua Vortex too. It's just better looking. It's better looking than those two, and I didn't have to grind for a quest like this one, so it'll go there. Scroll down so I can get those emojis out of the way. I guess the poop emoji's staying there. Whatever. Spectral is really cool. I like Spectral a lot. It's going in A tier. It's a really nice design. I like the song quite a lot. Astral. I love Astral's song. It is definitely going to go in A tier. No, it doesn't quite surpass Spectral, but it is pretty close. Sanctum is 1-in-90K, which is kind of a weird rarity. Although, to be fair, Astral's 1-in-65K. I'll put Spectral... Wait, did I just... It's Sanctum, not Spectral. What am I talking about? Sanctum goes right in front of Immortal, but not above some of the other blocks. B tier. My god, B tier is already 3 rows large. Anyway, Prototype. First 100K. Prototype is really small for a 1-in-100K. It is pretty cool looking. I will give it that, so it gets front of B tier. Eclipsed has a very large problem, and that is that it is the exact same size as Beyond, a 1-in-10,000,000, and this is 1-in-100,000. Literally, if you place these two next to each other in-game, they are very similar in size. So, it is way too big. I think if it was smaller, it would be nice. Well, it is really good looking, but if it was smaller, it would be better. I think it will go right behind Dread, because Dread's a little bit cooler. Plus, it actually fits the size for a 1-in-25K. Oh god, we still have so much more to go. Anyway, Celestial is... I think this was the first 1-in-100,000. No, this is not the first 1-in-100,000 I got. But it is pretty cool. It'll go right in front of Sanctum and Immortal. Lunar's pretty cool, but I do have a very specific memory of, again, grinding this one out for a quest. So it'll get above Diamond, because I just do not like Diamond. But, it's not much better. It is cool looking, though. No. It'll go right in front of the 1-in-1Ks. Inferno, my very first 1-in-100K, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago? It was a long time ago, man. I've been with this game for a while now. It's a pretty cool block, you know? No, it's not. Yeah, it is better than Prototype. Prototype is small. What is this one called? I'm just gonna say Valorant because I don't actually know what it's called. Valorant. I can't keep saying Valorant, dude. Valorant is it's kind of lame. Like the chain textures don't really look that good. The song is all right. But I don't think it's quite as cool. It's better than Lunar, I will give it that. And it's better than its golden counterparts that came before it. Yeah, it'll go right here, right behind Crystallize. Because at least Crystallize works for its rarity. That one, it needs to be significantly better, get higher on the list. Alright, Glacier. Glacier is really cool. I love Glacier. It has a really good song. It's really good looking for a 1 in 100k. I just really like this block overall. It gets front of A tier for now. Glisten is alright for a 1 in 100k. It's like up there with those two. It's up there. I think it's better than Prototype because it's at least the size of a 1 in 100k, but it can't go higher than Inferno, man. I just like Inferno too much. Odyssey is nice for a 1 in 100k. Let's see here. Odyssey, again, will go in front of Prototype because it doesn't suffer from the issue that Prototype has of being too small, but it is pretty cool. So, Divine. It's just too bright, man. It's way too bright. So that for that reason, it's going behind Celestial. You just can't see much of the design unless you turn your graphics down and the brightness chills out a bit. And Lucid. Lucid is kind of one of those blocks that I forgot about over time. But it is a pretty good block. It'll go... Lucid will go right here. No, it'll go right here. Lucid's alright. Leviathan. Leviathan suffers from the issue of being bad. I'm sorry, it's just not good. The eye is just a 2D texture inside of a block that's it could look so much better even with just some simple effect changes, like if you just put a cloud of blackness around it. So I think for that reason it's getting back a C tier because it just doesn't look very good, you know. Anyway, Nova. I hate grinding for Novas because, well, anybody who's grinded for Cosmic Claymore knows why Novas are not fun to grind for, especially when you just don't have that much luck. But Nova is a pretty cool block, so it'll go right here in B tier. Eruption, I love Eruption, man. Eruption is super cool. Yeah, it's not quite as good as Glacier. It doesn't quite surpass that one, but it is pretty cool. Omnipotent is, well, it's cool, but it suffers from the issue of having like a 2D texture that just spins towards your camera, and it just looks really cheap. Like it looks really good in the image, but it's just really cheap when you see it. I think Omnipotent will get right here in B tier. Alright, Soundspace. Soundspace is a cool block. I like it quite a bit. The song is a banger, and it gets back of A tier. Undefined. Undefined sucks. I hate getting this block every time I see it on my screen. It just makes me angry. And I know that a lot of people in the block Mayhem correlate with that. So it's going back a D tier, man. It could also be improved upon, the design. And I think, honestly, now that we have Purgatory, I think that Undefined should be changed to a Purgatory only, because having it spawn everywhere just makes it kind of annoying when you get it. So, yeah. Anyway, Blizzard. Blizzard is 1 in 550k, so a bit of a weird rarity. But I do like the design quite a bit. It's not as cool as Glacier, obviously. But it is pretty good for a B tier block. So it'll get right in front of Glisten. Toxic. Toxic used to have the absolute worst design. Anybody who played Block Mayhem back in the day knows what I'm talking about. It looked like a green circle. It was horrible, but they changed the design, and it actually looks really good now. So I think it'll get back of A tier for now. Blue screen. I love blue screen, man. Some people, some people grinding for Destiny Devourer have a really hard time with blue screens. I never had a hard time with blue screens, but I can see why you would have a hard time with blue screens. I do think it looks better than Toxic, so it'll go right in front of Toxic. No, right in front of Sound Space, you know? Alright, Temporal. I really do like Temporal. Now we're getting into the blocks that I really do like. So Temporal is better than Spectral, but it's not quite as good as Eruption, so it goes right there. Entropy. Entropy is a block that I honestly kind of forgot about over time. It will go. It's pretty cool though. I like it quite a bit. It's just one of those kind of forgettable blocks. So it will go right back of A tier. Desolation. Desolation is. It has a problem which I'll get to later. But for what it is, it's a pretty good block. The song does definitely feel very empty and devoid, which I like. It's really good for this block. So it goes right behind Blizzard. Alright, now we're in the 1 in a millions. The blocks that are actually really good. I like these blocks quite a bit. Empyrean. Empyrean is a good block. I love the song for Empyrean. And the design is pretty cool. A bit too bright, but it is good nonetheless. So it'll go right here. Right here is good. Alright, Encryption. Encryption looks cool, and the song is great. So it'll go right in front of Empyrean. I think Empyrean just looks a bit worse, but it's still really good. Anyway, Imperial. Imperial sounds a lot like Empyrean, and it is a good block. It looks really good, but it's really annoying to get. So I think I'll put it back of A tier. It looks good. Aurora. Aurora is kind of basic for a 1 in 1 million. It's alright, but it could use a touch-up, so I think I'll put it behind Desolation in A tier, or B tier, sorry. Abyssal. Abyssal suffers from a very massive problem, quite literally. The fact that it is way too big for a 1 in 2 million block. It's bigger than a few 1 in 100 millions. But it does look cool, and Abyssal Accelerator it actually propelled me through the game quite fast. So for that reason, it gets back of A tier. Just, it needs to be a bit smaller, man. Demonic. Demonic is pretty cool. I like Demonic quite a bit. Yeah, it goes in front of Abyssal. It doesn't quite surpass Imperial, but that's where it is. It's good, you know? Frostbite. Frostbite has a song I've never quite clicked with, but it is pretty good. So it'll go right in front of Abyssal and Demonic. It just looks a bit cooler, you know? Purity. I like Purity. The design is cool. The song is pretty good. It goes right in front of Entropy. Guardian. Guardian is a good block. The song can get a bit repetitive after a while, but the redesign, the old design looked pretty bad, but the redesign looks nice. And a lot of people probably haven't seen the old design because it was a really old design. But the redesign looks really nice. So I'll put it right behind Toxic. It's not quite as good as Toxic. Seraphic. Seraphic is a block that exists. In my opinion, it just doesn't look that great. It looks good for a modern day block, but to me it's not that high. So I'll put it right pretty much like right in the middle of B tier. You know? That's kind of where it should go. Decay. Decay suffers from the same problem as Abyssal in that it is way too big, and I mean way too big. You could show someone who hasn't seen Purgatory yet, like in the past, you could show them this, and then show them a 1 in 100 million block that we have right now, and ask them what the 100 million block was, and they might say Decay. So, Decay goes right with Abyssal, because they have the same problem. But Decay does look better, so I guess it'll go in front of Abyssal. Tesseract. Tesseract is one of my favorite blocks, I'm just going to be honest. it's getting S tier. The song is amazing, the design is really cool, and I just like it a lot, you know? Alright, Vaporwave. Yeah, Vaporwave. Vaporwave is pretty cool. I like Vaporwave quite a lot, actually. The song is Digital Descent. I like it quite a bit. It gets an S tier, but not quite as good as Tesseract. Tesseract is way too good. Alright, now we're on to the 1 in 10 million blocks. But before we go on to the 1 in 10 million blocks, this is just a friendly reminder for you guys to subscribe so I can get the content block. That would be pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm sorry for the shameless plug. But please do subscribe. It helps me keep making videos. It keeps me motivated to make videos. Content and Fool is a developer only block, so I've never seen Fool in game. It gets like back of B tier. It's not that great looking. Content gets A tier because, well, obviously I have to plug my YouTube channel here, man. I have to make sure that people subscribe. Anyway, Cosmic, our first actual 1 in 10 million. Cosmic is a nice block. I like Cosmic a lot. It's not quite as good as Tesseract for me, but it was my first 1 in 10 million. I love the song. The design is great. It's just an overall really good block, you know? Firewall is way too loud. Its song is really good, but it's just really loud, man. It gets front of no. Yeah, it gets front of B tier. Front of B tier is where it belongs. It's just really loud. If it wasn't so loud, I might put it in S tier, but that's where it goes for now. Neutron. Neutron has kind of a basic design, but it still holds up, so I'm going to put it right in front of content. Kronos. Kronos is a good-looking block. It kind of suffers from the same thing as Neutron in that it's not that detailed, but I think it does look a bit better than Neutron, so I'll put it right there. Sovereign. Oh my goodness, I love Sovereign. Sovereign is getting S tier for sure. It's super rare and super hard to get, but it looks amazing, and the song is great too. It's just an overall really good block. Forsaken, I really have not spent a lot of time with Forsaken, but I do like its design, and the song is great, so I will put it in front. I will put it right here. That's where it belongs. Alright, Beyond. Beyond, oh my goodness, I love the song for Beyond. And the design for the block is really nice. It holds up really well today. So I think it goes right in front of Vaporwave here. Depth. Depth looks really good. The song is alright, you know? It's not quite as good as the other 1 in 10 million so far, but it does look really nice. So I'll put it right behind Forsaken. That's a good place for it. Destiny. Destiny was an absolute pain in my butt to get. I could not get this block for the life of me. It took me about 2 weeks to get this block just so I could craft Destiny Devourer. But it is a cool looking block. The song is really, really loud, so I usually put it on mute. And the annoying thing about this block is that its explosion sound it won't stop playing. Like every once in a while, I'll turn off sound for blocks, and then randomly, my friends will enter the server and place down Destiny, and I'll get absolutely jump scared by the giant explosion because I didn't expect it to come. So it's not amazing, but it is pretty good. So I'll put it in front of these two. It just suffers from a major problem. Alright, now we are on to the final stretch, the 1 in 100 millions and above. Alright, and we're starting off with Hypergiant. Hypergiant is really cool. The song is nice. The block design it's a giant star. And I love space-themed blocks, so it is getting S tier. It's not quite as cool as Vaporwave, but it is pretty good. Cyberspace is another really cool block. I love the song for this one, but it is really small for a 1 in 100 million, so it goes behind Hypergiant. Tidal Wave. How many Geometry Dash references can I get in one video? This one is it's a joke block, so I don't think it deserves S tier, but it is kind of cool. I like the idea of having that in I like the idea of having it in game. And I like how the different versions of the block, like the inverted and chromatic ones, are different levels and different like reactions from other people beating them. So I'll put it front of A tier. Front of A tier is where it belongs. Troll. Troll suffers from the problem that I hate getting troll. And who doesn't, you know? It gives you $1. Who wants $1 when you could get, like, millions of dollars from other 1 in 100 million blocks? But it's alright. But it does suffer from the problem that some, like, Tidal Wave and NARP suffer from, in that it is just, it reuses the texture of Desolation, but it does go right below Desolation. NARP is one of my favorite blocks, I'm gonna be honest. Especially Chromatic NARP. Chromatic NARP has a really amazing song, but I don't think NARP is my favorite block so far, so I'll put it right in front of Vaporwave. Millionaire. Millionaire is it's got a millionaire rare. It's got a weird rarity. Especially the chromatic version of it. It does it works for what it is, you know? So it gets front of B tier. Blossom. Blossom is one of my favorite blocks. I like the song quite a bit. Its design is pretty cool, but it's just not big enough. Like, put this down next to Beyond, and they just kind of look the same. So either scale this one up or scale the 10 millions down, because they're just kind of big. Blossom is pretty cool though. I don't like it better than Beyond, but I do like it better than NARP, because it's not a joke block. And I don't get a million of them, so it goes right in front of NARP. Gentleman, I like the idea of Gentleman. Like, I like the texture, like the thing where it throws around roses, like it kind of lasers them into existence. I like that a lot. And this block is it's a pretty good block. I like it a lot. The song is all right. So I think I'll put it in. I think I'll put it in back of A tier. Not quite as bad as Content. It's better than Content, but it is not quite as good as Neutron for me. Primordial. I love Primordial so much. It is going straight in front of S tier. I don't even care. I love this block. I've loved it since it was introduced to the game, even when I couldn't get it. And I still love it today. It's a really good block. Same with Terminus. It is no, it's not quite as good as Primordial, but it is a really nice block. I like it quite a bit. And the song is really good too. Haunt. Haunt is a new block. I have not gotten it yet, so I really don't know what it looks like in game. I've kind of only seen videos of it, so I don't really have a good idea of where to place this, but it does look like a good block. So I'll place it in front of Chronos. It looks like a good block, you know? But the chromatic and inverted versions just don't look very good. Wither, I love Wither, man. Wither is going straight in that front of S tier. It is a really nice block. The song is definitely my favorite part, although the design is amazing too. It's just overall a really nice block. I think it might be my second favorite. Not sure though. Well, I guess we'll see if it is once I finish this ranking. Inverted Common. Inverted Common is kind of a sad one for my friend because he keeps getting them all the time. I think he has 4 as of now, and one of them he got in golden. So it's kind of become really annoying for him. So I do feel bad for him. So that makes this one go back of A tier. It's just not cool. It's not that, but it is pretty funny. I do like the idea of it. Prismatic. A lot of people really like Prismatic, and I can see why, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite block of all time, but it's a cool block. I like the song. I don't like how it jump scares you. That's kind of annoying. But that kind of just adds to the block in a way. So it gets back of it. Fate. Ooh, Fate. I have to decide whether this goes in front of Wither or not. I think it goes behind Wither. That it's a really good block. I love Fate so much. The song is amazing. I like the design. It holds up so well even after months and months. And when I started playing the game, it was the rarest block, so it was kind of like something you just never really saw. So it goes right behind Wither. 7 Crystal. 7 Crystal, it was my first. Not only was it my first 1 in 100 million block, it was my first 1 in 500 million block. So it'll go right here. It's not quite as good as these 4, but it is pretty nice. I do like it. And it was my first really lucky moment. The rarest block. The song is really bringing this one down for me. It gets really repetitive after the first or second time. But I do like the idea of it being like jokingly the rarest, and it used to be the rarest block, but it's no longer the rarest block. So because of that, it goes like it's not S tier material. It goes back of A tier. It's not as good as content. I might derank it, but I think that's where it goes for now. Apotheosis. Apotheosis is a really good block. It's not quite as good as these 4 right here, but I do like it quite a bit. The song is nice. The design is great. It's an overall really good block. Euphoria. If you watched my block collection video, you know this is absolutely my favorite block. It's like the perfect block Mayhem block. Nothing gets better than Euphoria, man. The song is amazing. The design is really great. It's a huge block which works perfectly. And I think that's kind of what brings Apotheosis down, is because it's not as big as it should be, where Euphoria is as big as it deserves to be. It is a 1 in 2.5 billion. It definitely deserves to cover most maps. And it was the rarest for quite a while, but it was recently dethroned by another block that I'll get to in a minute. But first we have Bow Crystal. Bow Crystal, actually, I think it was added after Euphoria, and I do like it, especially the inverted version. The inverted version of this block is my favorite version of this block. And I do think I think it's better than 7 Crystal. It is absolutely massive, though. I think it's the biggest block in Block Mayhem. Which could be contended by the final and rarest block on the list, Andromeda. I don't think it will ever be dethroned because it's 1 in 100 billion, and the developers might not add anything rarer. It's a really cool block. I like the song quite a bit, and the design is really good. So I think it goes right in front of Apotheosis. My giant block Mayhem ranking. This took me a long time to do. I recorded it in several parts. I don't know why, but I lost motivation for YouTube for a while. But I'm definitely gonna be making more videos after this. And by the way, you might have noticed this tier right here. What is this? Below F needs a redesign? Why didn't I put anything there? Well, it's because I was saving it for the end of the video. Because, Runic, it's not F tier. It's below F. It needs a redesign so badly that I will put it in below F. And that does leave F tier empty, which I will fill with undefined, because undefined sucks. But there you have it. There's my final ranking of all the blocks in Block Mayhem. The bottom tiers are definitely more empty than the top, especially A and B tier. Just because this game it's really amazing. I loved it. I love it so much, and it's really sad to see that the developers probably won't update it. Probably won't update it anymore. I'll flash on screen the announcement for a few seconds, and you can pause to read it. But it is really sad because I've watched this game. I remember this game when it was only a few months old, and now it's almost a year old, I think. And it's like watching a game in like fast paced, and it's really sad that the developers have to discontinue it. But I cannot wait for what they will make next. And that brings me on to the big announcement of this video, which is that I will most likely not be making any more Block Mayhem content. I know this might be a bit sad, but it's sort of a dying game, and even I know that because it's not getting any more updates. It is definitely one of my favorite games of all time, and I will never forget it. It's really an amazing game. But on that note, I will definitely be moving on to I might make a few more Block Mayhem videos on blocks that I get over time. I've got a few cooking right now. Um and you've already seen a few if you've watched my other videos. But yeah, there's nothing left for me to really do in this game besides show blocks off. So, thank you all so much for watching my channel and watching Block Mayhem. And I know I'm kind of acting like this is the end of an era, but it kind of is. I've been making Block Mayhem content for 4 months now, which is like 2/3 of my channel time. It's been a while. And and definitely my most popular videos come from this game, so I'll never forget this game. But I hope you guys enjoyed my Block Mayhem content. And I hope you guys enjoyed other people's Block Mayhem content as well. I've seen other YouTubers, other small YouTubers like me, who are done with Block Mayhem for good, and I can understand why. But I'm not done with it for good. Hey, editor K19RN here. I actually am done with this game for good. I don't think I'll ever return to it. So, just wanted to give the sad news to you, but I just don't want to return to it. RNG games have gotten pretty boring to me over the last few weeks, and I just want to be done with them. So, that is the news. Enjoy the rest of the end of the video. But I will be putting a pause on it so I can work on other things and other games that I would like to do on this YouTube channel. And I hope I hope that this game is the catalyst for my YouTube channel, because that would be really cool. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. But as always, I will see you soon. Goodbye.